Good afternoon and welcome to a special edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulu Hoyani. She can only be described as a spouse from hell. There's no other way to explain her conduct. This is the story of Sibongile Dlamini. Sibongile Dlamini was married to Panele Skosana, and they've only been married for 2 months. Just underline that, 2 months. So that will mean the marriage should have been around December or so. In spite of a lot of disapproval from Panele Skosana's family, it would appear that the marriage just went ahead and they got married, in spite of the fact that, there were misgivings about the 10-year difference between the newlyweds. Apparently, they also had a child prior to getting married. It would also appear that in the past, Panel had complained of spousal abuse by Sibongile. And that, members of her family had told her, you get out of this relationship. So it was a very turbulent sort of relationship and very uncomfortable for Panel. Sometime last year, it is not very clear when, but it could not be very far from their wedding. Panel was poisoned after eating some chicken prepared by her, or served to him by her. This food poisoning was also very suspicious. And some people were pointing fingers at Sibongile to say, she must have something to do with it. But there was no tangible and concrete evidence. So the police could not make an arrest, in spite of, the widely circulating rumors that she could have been behind the poisoning. So Banele got admitted to hospital. After he came out of hospital. Banele was convinced that this is a dead-end marriage. This marriage is going nowhere. My life is in danger here. He was in no doubt, and he confessed this to siblings. I think it was his sister. And he then decided to move out of the marital home, the place where she shared with Sibongile. It was soon thereafter, only 5 days after Panel had been released from hospital, that Sibongile ordered a hit on him. 5 days after he had been released, after that poisoning incident, after he had recovered in hospital. Let me also remind you that Panele was a member of the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department. So Sibongile hired these 2 gunmen. One of them is, can you imagine? Get the name. Inhliziyo Yabantu, people's hearts. The man's name is Inhliziyo Yabantu Makwanyana. And another man who is still reportedly at large. So a day before the funeral was on the 12th, if I'm not on the 15th. It was on the 15th of February, a day before the funeral. the alleged hitman, inhliziyo yabantu makwanyana, was arrested in connection with this matter. And he spilled the beans and fingered none other than the wife from hell, the spouse from hell. She was arrested when, funeral arrangements for the husband were underway. Right in front of everybody. And it was an embarrassing spectacle. When the police came and just picked her there in front of everybody, the supposedly grieving wife, she was supposed to be the grieving wife because this was a funeral arrangement of her husband. And she was picked up there, and the whole community was shocked. They were shocked that the grieving widow was also the murderer of her own husband. After only having been married to him for 2 months. What was the motive? We are told that the motive was insurance money. I don't know what insurance money is doing to South African women or South African women who are potential criminals. I think this is the third incident of its kind, which has attracted a lot of media publicity about women killing their spouses or relatives for insurance money. Although the details of the insurance policy or the amount, the insurance money involved has not been disclosed, it would appear that it was a substantial amount. So substantial that Sbongile wanted to end this marriage and be a beneficiary of that money after only 2 months. Well, that is how we have it now. She's in custody together with inhliziyo yabantu makwanyani. The matter has been postponed to the 21st of February for a formal bail hearing. That is the story I have for you. Tragic, isn't it? Very, very tragic. People motivated by greed and nothing else. This is one of those cases that I'm keeping tabs on. And many others of a similar nature that will be of interest to you as my viewers. But just ponder over this. South African women. What is it about South African women these days? Or some of them at least. I'm not blaming all South African women. What is it that drives them to do this Hollywood style, to commit these Hollywood style crimes? This sort of thing was, unheard of in South Africa. But it is becoming so prevalent these days. I wonder as a person how many of them get away with it. Because out there might be some who have gotten away with it and, killed their spouses and claimed insurance money, and they are living the high life, that they were looking for. If, blood money can give you the high life. So please give me some comments in the comment section. I would like to hear what you have to think about this. Because like I'm saying, the crime is getting prevalent, and frankly, it is very worrying. So let us see what happens on the 21st, whether she will be granted bail or whether the court will deny her bail. Let me also reiterate that as an advocate, that is the investigation that I've just outlined. I know that everybody is presumed guilty until they are proven innocent. I am not writing any obituary of anybody. I'm not writing any legal obituary here. I'm not pronouncing her guilty. I'm not insinuating that she's guilty, but I'm giving you the facts as I know them. and my own analysis and assessment of what is entailed here. Having said that, let me just conclude by saying, need I say more? Let us wait for the 21st of February and see what happens. And please have a nice day.